Recording. What do I want to play? We'll do this one. Oh no, my new song. This is my new song. That's better.
Put the devil to cross the line. It's just how I want it. Facing the causes of fear. Don't a little about the fuse. I'm about to light. It's just how I want it. Standing right in my view. I better bring up the guns. I better bring up the thunder. Start firing.
Oh, hi there. Happy Friday. It's it's Friday, February 22nd, 2019. I'm Eric. Talking at you as always from beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where I have a message for every single person on the planet. Nobody gives a shit about your drone.
That's it?
That's it.
I was expecting a little bit more.
Nope. That's all you're getting. Guys with drones, you gotta let it go. Nobody cares, and explaining how Amazon uses them to deliver packages doesn't make them cooler.
No. And all you're doing is just disrupting everybody's life and you're an asshole.
Exactly. We got a little bit of feedback here. Other than that, everything seems to be going really well. For those of you who don't know, I'm trying out a new thing here, so bear with me.
My name is Jeff.
It will get better.
Yeah, it definitely sounds a little echoey, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't. The recordings don't sound that bad, but for now we're just gonna deal with it until I can get a better microphone system for you and I. But for the time being, this works. So welcome, Gord. How is lovely Milton, Ontario this evening?
Oh, it's been kind of warm today, sunny and warm. It's been nice. It's clear skies, sitting at -1 right now.
That's not too
And,
bad.
yeah, it's not too shabby. We got snow coming apparently on Wednesday, but other than that, I got no fucking complaints with the weather.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can't either. We had winter for about 2 hours and then it went away.
Oh, the winter of BC. It's a terrible thing to deal with.
Before I talk about winter, I got to take just 10 seconds to say that the first half of the show here is brought to you by Anchor.fm. And you think you can do what Gord and I do every night? I want to hear you try. Go to Anchor.fm, the easiest way to make your podcast ever. You can host and create unlimited episodes, bring up to 10 friends into the conversation. You can monetize your podcast, and you can do it all from one place for free. So go to the App Store, get started today. Anchor.fm, the easiest way to make your podcast ever. There. That's cha-ching for me. That's it. Okay, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare anything because my mind got blown first thing this morning. Because we're once again talking about the goddamn pipeline and it being approved.
My name is Jeff.
That is all over the news right now.
The National Energy Board coming out in favor of continuing the Trans Mountain Pipeline. Now, the news that I didn't know, and you guys know I've been ranting about this shit since the very first episode of the show, and I didn't know that whole time. I just learned today, National Energy Board approval is non-binding. It's not legally binding in any way. We could have just approved the goddamn thing last year.
That's so fucking stupid. but
Why did we buy this thing for $4 billion from Kinder Morgan?
because Trudeau is a fucking twat.
This whole year has just been fucking smoke and mirrors. It's ridiculous. It's a complete waste of time and energy, and we didn't have to do it anyway. For them to come around and say that they approved it, oh, Jesus Christ. This is our government at work. That's
I wonder why things can't get fucking done. This is why.
It just baffles me. And now, of course, once again, all the First Nations in the area are all up in arms about how it's going to affect the marine life. And yet, they don't seem to give one flying fuck about the marine life under Lions Gate Bridge. They just allowed the Aquilinians to start developing. So, I'm starting to question their commitment to the marine life when they're destroying the water under Lions Gate, but way over there by Second Narrows has to be protected.
Well, yeah, that's because, fuck people. That's why.
Yeah, well, no, they're waiting until the check's big enough. That's all they want is a blank check, and they'll approve just about anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, you know, everyone's making an issue about all this increased tanker traffic. It's 4 goddamn ships a day. It's 4 more. How much is that going to do?
Nothing.
Now, if we
Not
had...
going to make a lick of fucking difference at all.
I can't say it enough, people. You can stop this pipeline. You are not going to stop oil. Oil is coming one way or another. John Horgan will throw it in buckets on a rickshaw and ride it over here if he has to. We are getting Alberta oil to Asian markets, whether you like it or not. You might stop this pipeline, but the alternative is trains. And how many trains have crashed in the last month? We just had another one full of oil crash.
Yeah.
So you're choosing, basically, a pipeline that's never had a problem. It's been in existence for 50 years, problem-free, or trains.
Well, hang on. You can't say problem-free. Because there have been, 3 separate spills on Canada alone, let alone the, dozen spills that have happened in the U.S. for pipelines.
I'm not saying pipelines in general. I'm saying this particular pipeline, which people fail to mention, is already in existence. It's been there for 50 years. It needs desperately to be replaced or it's going to start leaking. But we're not inventing a pipeline here. We're just twinning it. We're putting it a little buddy right next to it. No, pipelines in general, yeah, they've had issues. But this particular one hasn't.
My favorite thing, and this is something that's been going on for quite a while, and there's a guy who has become quite popular because of this, where he actually stood up at one of the major summits that they did. He had, 1,500 fucking leaders that were from all over the world that were there. And this guy, and they're all supposed to be there to talk about the environment. The guy's like, you assholes show up here in 1,500 individual private jets.
Don't you love that?
And you're bitching about the environment.
That
Go
is
fuck
just...
yourself.
Yeah.
So he calls them out directly, which is awesome. And then that same guy went on to Fox News to talk to Tucker Carlson. And Fox News ended up not playing the interview simply because the guy ended up calling out Tucker to say that he's part of the problem because he works for, he goes, you're making millions of dollars from these billionaires that tell you what to talk about.
Yeah.
They tell you what you can and cannot say. It's a direct thing. This isn't a free media. You do not work for a free media source. You are told what to talk about.
Exactly.
You're given a bit of leeway, but not a lot. There's a reason why you don't cover certain things. There's a reason why Fox never said Obama did good with this, did good with this. There's a reason why you're not going to say Trump did bad with this and Trump did bad with this. There's a reason for that. Your bosses don't want you to talk about that. And Tucker Carlson snapped and called him a fucking moron. Literally swore at him. You're a fucking idiot. You're a moron. You don't know anything. You're a fucking moron. He just went off. It was awesome. So the guy personally recorded the entire interview and then fucking played it.
Oh, that's
Fox
cool.
refused to play it, but it's awesome.
I didn't hear that. The one though, they all are a little, even David Suzuki, they measured his carbon footprint, and it's ridiculous with the entourage he travels with. His carbon footprint is shameful.
Yeah.
And he travels
Absolutely.
more than just about anybody in the country. So he's doing it. He's trying to pretend he's not. He's telling us he's not, but he is.
Yeah, no, it's stupid because every one of these people, like, am I against pipelines? No. Am I against oil consumption being used? To an extent. But here's the thing. We are in no position right now, as of yet, to change how our houses work.
No,
So
exactly.
therefore, any person who is openly bitching about the pipelines, who is openly bitching about all this, plain and simple, turn off your gas,
Yeah.
turn off your hydro, and do not drive any form of car, do not take a bus, do not take a plane, do not take a train. You take nothing that runs on any form of coal.
And that
So this
includes
means-
that includes don't eat food or wear clothing or use cell phones or computers.
That also means that even if you're driving your fucking 100% all electric vehicle, you have to understand that inside your car, there are parts in there that are made from petroleum. No fucking sealant, no fucking oil, no gaskets. All that shit is made by petroleum. So every one of you, shut the fuck up.
I
This
knew.
stuff does need to be dealt with. It needs to be handled absolutely yada yada fucking yada. But all that being said,
My
really
name is Jeff.
nothing's changing.
That's exactly. That's the point I've been saying for the last year. If you wear clothes, if you eat food, if you use a phone,
Whatever
if you
you're
ride a
talking
bus,
about, I don't care.
You're using oil in one way or another. Everything we do relies on it, and I don't see why you would want to stop that. And a giant part of our economy relies on it.
Yeah, see, that part of it's a bullshit argument because all of it can be changed over to an alternative source, and you have all types of new jobs right then and there.
Indeed.
So, I mean, the job loss would make a difference because, yes, if you close down, say you close down 100,000 jobs that are petroleum-based, but then you open up an alternative which can create 500,000 jobs, where's the loss?
Well, exactly. But people don't want to look at it that way.
Well, no,
But
but
the-
they should.
You got to remember, we're on the. When the Ford Model T came out, I'm sure there was a bunch of horseshoe makers who lost their fucking minds and said, "No, we can't have these. This is terrible." People don't like when you're on a precipice of a major change. There's always going to be resistance like this.
That's very true.
It's unfortunate. There will be people who get affected. When we bring in Uber, there's some cab drivers who are going to get affected. It sucks for a small group of people, and for the greater good, unfortunately, it's progress, and that's what we need right now.
Yeah. So basically, kids, what we're telling you is when it comes to your future jobs, choose wisely
Or eat Soylent Green.
or become a hippie.
Don't do that. Don't become a hippie or a flat earther. Oh my God. Yeah.
I would love to live off the grid. I would love that.
I think everybody
No more
would.
computers, no hydro, just fuck it. I'll wash my clothes in a fucking basin. I'll fucking cook over an open fucking fire. I'll grow my fucking food. It would be so peaceful. You wouldn't have time to complain because you're too fucking busy dealing with some shit.
Well, that's right. That's why you never hear farmers bitch about anything. It's because they're working from 5 a.m. till 3 a.m.
That's right. And these fucking kids nowadays will never understand that type of fucking work ethic.
No, it'll never happen. They really are. They're going the Wally way that we've always joked about since you joined the show. It's getting really embarrassing. And now they're talking about not even teaching reading and writing anymore. Because they don't have to. It's obsolete now. I don't know. The education system, the way it's headed, I'm scared for these kids. And like I've said a million times, these are the ones that show up and shoot up their school because they're just out of place in the world.
Yeah, they can't handle anything.
Just basic decision making is lost on them, and
When your whole life is revolved around computers.